If you're a man aged between 25 and 34, I know you've been busting your ass at work trying to get ahead financially. You're doing everything you think you should be doing, saving money, cutting back on expenses, trying to invest in the stock market, and looking for real estate deals. But let me ask you this. Why aren't you rich yet? Why does it feel like you're stuck in a financial rut no matter how hard you try? I'll tell you why. It's because you've fallen victim to some common money habits disguised as smart money moves that are keeping you poor. In today's video, we'll dive into what those frugal money habits are, how you can identify if you're practicing these counterproductive habits, and what specific changes you can make to start building real wealth. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start making real moves, keep watching. Number 1. Paying yourself last. One of the most common mistakes men make is paying themselves last. It's easy to get caught up in bills, subscriptions, and social obligations, but if you're not prioritizing your savings and investments, you're doing yourself a disservice. Imagine if, every time you got paid, you automatically transferred a portion of your income, say 10%, into a dedicated savings or investment account. It's like planting a money tree. Over time, it will grow and provide for you in the future, rather than leaving you with bare soil and hoping for the best. If 10% seems undoable, start by saving 3% of your income. As you get more comfortable with the habit, gradually increase the percentage over time. Treat it like any other bill or expense, and make sure it's one of the first things you do when you get paid. When you hit your 40s, this simple shift would have profoundly impacted your financial life. So, make a habit of paying yourself first by automatically transferring a portion of your income into a dedicated savings or investment account. Number 2. Engaging in expensive hobbies. Many people in their 20s and 30s fall into the trap of overspending on hobbies like collecting high-end sneakers, traveling, golfing, or pursuing extreme sports without realizing the long-term financial consequences. Let's say you're a die-hard sneakerhead who buys 2 or 3 pairs of limited edition shoes each month at an average price of $300 per pair. That might not seem like a huge expense at the moment, but over the course of a year, you could easily spend $7,200 or more on sneakers alone. Now, imagine if you had invested that $7,200 in a diversified stock portfolio instead. Assuming an average annual return of 7%, that money could grow to over $14,000 in just 10 years. And if you kept investing at that rate for 30 years, you could be looking at a sneaker collection worth over $90,000. Except instead of collecting dust in your closet. If this idea doesn't sit well with you, you could buy secondhand or slightly used pairs instead of always going for the latest drops, or even start your own sneaker resale business to turn your hobby into a money-making venture. At the end of the day, it's all about finding a balance between enjoying your life and securing your financial future. Number 3. Not having an emergency fund. I learned this lesson the hard way when I was in my early 20s. I had just started my first real job and was feeling pretty good about my finances. But then, out of nowhere, my car broke down and needed thousands of dollars in repairs. I didn't have an emergency fund, so I had to put the whole thing on a credit card. It took me years to pay off that debt, and the interest charges ended up costing me way more than the original repair bill. Don't make the same mistake I did. Start building your emergency fund today, even if you can only afford to put away a small amount each month. Aim to save up at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses, so you know you'll be covered no matter what life throws your way. Number 4. Focusing too much on saving. There comes a point where cutting back on expenses can only take you so far. To truly become the man of mans in the financial context, you need to focus on increasing your income. For people in their late 20s and early 30s, this means thinking beyond your day job and exploring new opportunities to generate additional revenue streams. I'm sure you're already working on a thing or two. If not, consider freelancing your professional skills, building an e-commerce store, or starting a YouTube channel. Another option is to invest in a friend or family member's business. If you know someone with a promising startup or an established business looking to expand, providing financial support in exchange for equity or a share of the profits can be a smart way to diversify your income and potentially earn substantial returns. Just don't be afraid to think outside the box and explore new opportunities to boost your earning potential. Your future self will thank you. But if you're not quite ready to start your own side hustle or invest in someone else's business, there are still plenty of ways to increase your earning potential within your current career. Look for opportunities to take on additional responsibilities, lead high-profile projects, or negotiate a raise or promotion. Number 5. Paying too much in taxes. Accept it or hate it, taxes are a necessary part of your financial life, but that doesn't mean you should pay more than you have to. We're taxed when we earn, when we spend, when we save, and when we die. It's a wonder there's any money left to tax. I've already made a detailed video titled, How to Avoid Taxes in the U.S. Legally, where I revealed 10 different IRS-approved strategies to keep more of your hard-earned money to yourself. I've put the link in the pinned comment below. Do watch it after this. So far, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. This nonverbal communication tells me that someone from another corner of the country is finding value in what I teach. Number 6. Getting comfortable with bad debt. As you're just starting to establish yourself financially, you try to keep up with a certain lifestyle in your mid-20s to early 30s phase. So, you start relying on credit cards to bridge the gap between what you earn and what you want to spend. At first, it seems harmless. You're just using credit to treat yourself to a few nice dinners or a weekend getaway. But slowly, those small balances start to add up. And before you know it, you'd be carrying thousands of dollars in bad debt. If you don't break this cycle, you might have to put off important milestones like buying a home or saving for retirement because you're still shackled to those high-interest balances. Worse yet, if you experience a financial setback like a job loss or medical emergency, that bad debt can quickly spiral out of control. So, how do you avoid this nightmare scenario? Live within your means, avoid relying on credit for discretionary spending, and focus on paying off your existing balances as quickly as possible. If you're already carrying bad debt, don't panic. Simply cut back on overspending and start paying off your highest interest balances first. Consider consolidating your debt with a lower interest option, but have a clear plan for paying it off before any promotional rates expire. Number 7. Waiting too long to invest. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow through the power of compound interest. It's common sense, and everyone knows it. Yet many people still do not invest their money anywhere. If you're one of them or know anyone, share this video with them. Develop a diversified investment portfolio ASAP that includes a mix of stocks, bonds, and other assets, and commit to consistently investing a portion of your income each month. By doing this, you'll always feel a sense of safety at the back of your head knowing that you have something to fall back on for immediate purposes. It also helps you avoid panic attacks when things don't go your way. That's it for today. If you like this video, consider subscribing. It encourages me to bring more such valuable content and add value to your life. Thank you and see you in the next one.